Yeah, great to have you with us for the Captain's Run. I'm Nick McCardle. Tim Horan is here. Timmy, we just saw Nic White, who's been named to play his last Test match. He came out a little bit earlier. The rest of the team's come out. They're all wearing Nic White moustaches, so it's a nice touch for Nic White.
Yeah, honouring Nick. Of course, it's going to be his last Test match, last professional game of rugby. So what a moment it is. Look at the team photo now, all with the moustaches on, and it's a great tribute to what he's done, not just on the field, but also off the field, and the contribution he's done, not just for the gold jersey, but for the Brumbies and also for the Western Force. A great tribute to him.
Now, the other bit of breaking news today, Timmy, is that Dave Parecki is a late out. He's got a heel injury. What flow-on effect does that have?
Yeah, Billy Pollard comes into the side, so he's been playing some great footy for the Brumbies, and of course has been part of the squad for a long period of time. Came off the bench, and I think Brendan Pangaremosa comes onto the bench, so it's still a very strong Wallaby team, but a bit of a loss the last couple of 24 hours. Billy Pollard, a great person to be able to fill in.
Now, just before we go to a couple of key players here that we're going to talk about for tomorrow night, why is this Test match so important, Timmy?
Well, I think the last 3 or 4 weeks you've really seen that what this team in the gold jersey has done for Australian rugby and also for people who follow sport in Australia. We wanted to re-engage fans back into the game. Certainly this Test series has done that, and but also it sets up the Wallabies for what's next, what's to come. You've got Bledisloe Cups to come, you've got the Rugby Championship, and then of course in 2027 we're going to host Rugby World Cup here in Australia. So really, one, engage the fans, but also two, this side is a side that's humming at the moment.
All right, so they've just wrapping up their team photo. That means they'll get into a bit of their captain's run in just a moment. We're going to talk about a couple of key players. Well, Timmy, Nic White just about to stride out for his last captain's run of his professional career. Can you imagine how he's feeling right now?
He looks quite relaxed, doesn't he? Sort of going out and just getting a feel for the grass and, you know, what he's going to do here. And especially for, you know, when you know it's your last Test match and your last ever professional game, you've got to do things exactly the way you've done it the last 40 or 50 Test matches. So he's going to have to lead from the front as well. And it's going to be a little bit wet here tomorrow night. So his kicking game is going to be really important.
Well, that's the thing that Joe Schmidt said. It's not a charity. He's not doing the bloke a favour. He's picked him because he thinks he can do a job. Yeah,
and there's a reason why Nic White's picked there, not just because it's his last Test match, but because he wants him to, obviously, high box kicks, wants him to kick long as well. Also, potentially long goal kicking as well might come into the game late in the first and second half.
And Dylan Peach, Tim, so pleased to see him rewarded. He's been around the squad. He had a blinder for the Western Force against the Lions. He deserves this opportunity.
Yeah, and he's few injuries throughout the year at the Western Force, so now he's got a bit of rhythm in his game. So, and he's a big body. I reckon some players suit Super Rugby, but I reckon Dylan Peach, he suits Test match footy. He can come off his wing. He can get some, go forward. And I think also around Tom Liner, we've helped Tom Liner out to go inside or outside him, just to try and bend that defensive line a little bit from the wing.
And an aerial threat as well.
Yeah, certainly great under the high ball, and there's going to be plenty coming. We know, with Finn Russell and also Jamison Gibson Park, the high balls, and they probably targeted Max Jorgensen and Tom Liner in that first Test match. So Dylan Peach, really important to get under the high ball from Jamison Gibson Park and give some Wallabies the front foot ball.
Now, Billy Pollard comes in replacing Dave Parecki. What an opportunity for Billy to start a Test match.
I really rate Billy Pollard, and the last couple of years with the Brumbies have been superb, and his season, probably the best season he's had with the Brumbies this year, to then still be around this squad and, had some game time off the bench and opportunity for him to start now. What a privilege for him to start here in Sydney, 85,000 people. He'll be nervous. I think he's just going through now his drills of where he's going to hit the first line out to make sure he hits it spot on.
And also there, Brendan Pangaremosa, and again, someone who's come back from overseas and gets his opportunity.
Yeah, they both look relaxed, don't they, here at training and throwing a couple of practice line-out throws, and I think that's the big thing, the first touch, your first tackle, what's your first movement in the game, because it's a massive Test match, not just for these two players, but for the Wallaby gold jersey.
And as we look on the ground here, that's Taniela Tupou. He's getting, what really are the largest hamstrings in world rugby, just getting a stretch as he gets set for his return to the Wallaby jersey and into the starting side.
What an opportunity for Taniela. So much spoken about Taniela Tupou, probably the highest paid player for the Wallabies in Australian rugby, and his performance for the Waratahs this year. But he gets a wonderful opportunity to show not just his teammates, but to show Wallaby fans around Australia that he's still got it. He's still powerful, still can make an impact, and starting, it's going to be huge to see. Got the biggest calves in the game as well, but I think quietly he just came over and gave us a little sort of high five as he walked past, and he looks relaxed, but he's got this determined look on his face. I haven't seen that for a long time from Taniela.
He had that really good game for the First Nations Pacifica team, and he's a reminder to Joe Schmidt just what he has to offer, and now he gets his chance again in a Wallaby jersey. Tom Hooper, Timmy, gets his opportunity out of the side last week, comes back in. Does he offer that physicality that the Wallabies so desperately need?
With no Rob Valentini in the side, he has to at jersey number 6, and also help Will Skelton and Harry Wilson carry. So that's going to be really important for him tomorrow night. But yeah, he's got to bring that aggro, he's got to bring physicality, and you can see him here quite relaxed, calling the line-outs, just getting through a bit of sort of training before they do their team run here, 24 hours out from a wonderful opportunity for him to show what he can do in the number 6 jersey.
And he's off overseas, so he will wanting to be throwing it around this opportunity.
And I think that's what he wants to do, especially when you come in for Rob Valentini, and he would have seen how physical Rob was last week and his carries and the way he bended the defensive line. He's got to do exactly the same that Rob did 7 days ago.
And Joe Schmidt has stayed with the same centre combination yet again.
Yeah, when you look at Joseph Suaalii, some people thought maybe he's better on the wing, but I think they're probably too far in now with the combinations of Len Ikitau and Joseph Suaalii. This is their 7th test match together, so they're starting to build their combination, their rhythm, and I just think they're going to stay together. But then you can look, they probably have to then work out in Super Rugby where they play, what positions they play. But for the Wallabies, that 12-13 combination just starting to build nicely. Last week was probably their best centre pairing together.
You know better than anyone. How long does it take?
Oh, it probably takes at least 10, 15 test matches to play together to understand, do you run off your left foot, are you better passing left to right or right to left? And Joseph's a wonderful athlete, so is Len Ikitau. Probably haven't seen the best of Len Ikitau in those first 2 test matches, so I expect tomorrow night here, this centre pairing hopefully will explode in the gold jersey.
There's a good energy here, isn't there? There's a sense that they have got up from the weekend, that disappointment in Melbourne. Let's hope we're right. You're going to talk to Harry Wilson, the skipper, in just a moment.